Just the way he was walking down the aisle, just kind of drifting from side to side, just not a straight path.
And
An empty looking, his face just kind of empty looking, just not really seeing anything.
And based on that observation, what did you do?
Just watched him for a little bit, asked another associate that was nearby what he saw, and then just kept an eye on him. And then after a few minutes, called over Lincoln because I thought he was going to do something, shoplift or something like that, the way he was acting.
So you said you thought he was going to do something. You didn't think anything violent. You just thought he was going to shoplift?
Yes. It's hard to make out the picture there, but the officer and Lincoln Lemire was coming through the front door at that time.
Okay, and the front door would be about equal to where it says fresh produce, directly to the left?
Left of that, yes. They're at the pole there.
Officer Padron tackled Mr. Daniel. He tackled him, and Mr. Daniel fell flat on his face. About right?
I don't think so. I didn't see that exactly.
Do you remember seeing your video?
I saw him on the video, but I couldn't tell if he hit his face or not.
Okay. Did they slide?
He went face forward first.
Okay. And from the tackle, it looks like they slid quite a bit. Is that about right?
A little bit.
At one point, Mr. Daniel lost his shoe.
Yes.
All that? Okay. So, you said that you heard one shot. It sounded like a pop.
I just thought something busted. It was in the backpack.
Okay. At that time, did you see anything that looked like confetti or paper fly out?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, can you tell me when you were able to, after all the shooting was done, and you were able to get on top of Mr. Daniel's hand, and Mr. Lemire was on top of him, right?
Yes.
At that time, did he say anything to you?
No.
He never said a word?
No, he did not.
You yourself never heard him say anything?
No, I did not.
And you didn't hear him laugh or anything like that?
He was laughing. He just giggling, basically, smiling.
Okay.
But I never heard him say a word after that.
Okay. Did at any point he pass out?
No.
You don't recall him passing out?
I did not see him pass out.
You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any questioning. If you are unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to and during any questioning. You have the right to terminate this interview at any time. Do you understand these rights as I've read them to you?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay. So from what I understand, you're living over there at the Waters Park Apartments, you were saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And this incident happened kind of close to there?
Yes.
Okay. What was going on tonight? Were you out earlier in the night doing something?
Because I got out at home and I had taken some drugs.
Okay. What kind of drugs?
I had taken a Xanax.
Is that something that you normally take at night?
No, I've done it 2 or 3 times.
Okay, was this with like a roommate or a group of people, or was it just you on your own?
It was me on my own.
Okay. And how big was the Xanax, I guess?
4 bars.
4 bars? Is that, when you have taken it before, is that a normal amount?
I just did take about 2 bars.
Oh, you normally take 2.
So it's a little bit more than usual.
Okay. What time was that around?
Well, I thought it was 11 p.m., so I don't know, like 9 p.m.
9 p.m.? Okay. And then what happened?
And then I decided to go on a ride on my motorcycle. I was thinking very clearly, and went to the Walmart, and I decided to shoplift a bunch of items. And on the way out, a cop saw me, and I panicked, and then I pulled my gun out and shot him.
Okay. What kind of gun?
It was 380.
380? that something you normally carry on you?
From time to time, because I've gotten threats before.
Threats?
I've worked as an informant in different situations
For?
for Douglas County in Colorado.
Tecos? Tecos, is that what you said, county?
Douglas County.
Douglas County, okay. So because of some past things that have come up with being an informant or past situations in Colorado, you began carrying a 380?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you've lived here for about a year and a half?
For about a year and a half. I also did, I worked for Larimer County Drug Task Force.
Larimer?
Both.
Okay, and is that in Colorado as well?
Correct.
Is that as an informant?
Yes, ma'am.
Larimer County and then Douglas County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're not wanted out of Colorado?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you left under good standing in Colorado?
Yes, ma'am.
So you did you were an informant, everything was fine, and then you just got a job here, so you came here?
Yes, I brought down one drug dealer who has been a major drug dealer for a decade almost, and apparently it was a fairly big bust.
In Colorado?
In Colorado.
Okay, and then they wanted you to get out of town because of it, or what?
Yeah, well, I was about to graduate from college, and then I got a job offer here in Austin, so I moved down here.
And which company do you work for?
Hewlett-Packard.
Okay, so you've been working here, and you've been living over at the Waters apartment at Parmer in Mopac? Do you
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
roommate or anything?
I do.
Okay, was he or she home tonight?
He's gone and he's off and gone. I don't know where he is.
Okay.
There.
So you get off of work,
Yes.
and you do anything special after work?
Watch TV and smoke weed.
Okay. So is weed a normal thing you do?
Weed's my only thing that I do.
For a normal type of drug?
Correct.
Okay. So you're smoking weed, watching TV, and then at some point you decided to...
At some point my friend said that he had some bars and he gave me some.
So there was a buddy with you?
He called me up. He called me on the cell phone, told me he had some bars.
Okay, so is he just a supplier, or is he a buddy?
He is a buddy.
He's a buddy. Did he come on over?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did he take them with you?
No.
Okay, how did that work out?
He sold me 4 and I gave him the cash, and then he smoked a bowl of weed with me and then left.
How many does 4 bars go for?
These were 6 apiece. 6, 12, so 24.
For $6?
Yes, usually they're $5 a piece.
Was this more expensive for any particular reason?
Sometimes when there's a shortage, it costs more.
And the buddy smoked the bowl with you. And what's his name?
I don't want to incriminate anyone.
Okay. So you had him, you smoked with him, and what time did he leave?
Shortly after 6:30.
Left around, so it's still light out.
Correct.
Okay. So after 6:30 p.m., what did you end up doing?
And then the Xanax makes you lose your memory really badly, and from then I took the bike out.
And you're talking about a motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Okay.
Correct.
What kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's a Kawasaki ZX-10.
And where did you go? Where did you ride to?
First I just rode around, and then I saw Walmart. And
Just the Walmart, like right at Palmer and 35, or which Walmart are we talking about?
shoot. I think it was Parmer on 35.
I mean, did you go like a great distance when you were driving? Or?
I did go a great distance, but I circled around some, and it's very difficult to piece it together.
Okay. But it was a Walmart, and you kind of circled back, and it might have been near your residence somewhere?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know what time you got there?
It's hard recall, 8 or 8:30.
Was it just gotten dark?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what did you do in the Walmart?
In the Walmart, I went in and looked for things that I needed. I got them all in bags. I had a backpack with me. Then when I saw that there were no cameras, I put them in the back of my backpack.
You put them in like the Walmart bags, and then you put those bags in your backpack?
Yes. And then I proceeded to walk out. When I walked out, I saw one officer and one plainly clothed loss prevention associate. The officer told me to stop, and I knew what he was after. And I had a .380 in my pocket, so I figured that the consequences might be worse. So I ran. The car grabbed me, and I turned around and shot him.
Okay, so you had the gun in like a front pocket, or
Front pocket.
like the right or the left?
The right pocket.
So you just plainly carry it, like just hide it in the pocket?
Yes.
Okay, and then we're talking about these pants that you were in now?
These pants that were in
Okay, so in the right front pocket?
yes, ma'am.
So when you came out of one of the main doors at the Walmart?
Yes, ma'am.
So they were kind of just sitting there talking? The officer and the loss prevention guy?
They were eyeballing me, so they knew that they were going to confront me.
And the officer said, what in your words?
The officer said, will you please step next to me? Will you please follow me? And then I took off running.
Just any particular direction, or?
I went towards the exit.
Okay, so this was still inside the store?
Yes, ma'am.
They kind of approached you before you hit those doors to go outside?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the officer says, please, come over here, please step aside with me over here, and you were just...
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how far did you get when you were running?
4 or 5 feet.
And then, what did the officer do?
He grabbed me, and I turned around and I saw his face, and I shot him.
He just grabbed you from behind?
He grabbed my arm, but my right arm was loose, and that's the one that had the gun.
So he grabbed your left arm?
He grabbed my left arm and shoulder.
Okay, so you're running and he grabbed it like up here?
Yes, ma'am.
And you kind of turned?
So I turned around, yes.
But this hand was already free, the right hand?
Thumb was free, and once he started to talk to me, I had my hand in my pocket, ready to go.
So the minute you saw him, you were kind of like, oh, I know where this is going.
Well,
The two guys talking.
Well, I figured if I could escape, then I would have avoided the situation, but yes, premeditated, whatever.
Okay. Knowing you had a gun on you and everything, you were just like, oh, I need to get out of here because this charge is going to be even worse.
Correct.
So while they were kind of confronting you, you put your hand in your right pocket.
Correct.
Okay. And then while you were fleeing, you kind of just kept your hand in, or did you pull the gun out right away? Or...
Well, I was fleeing, I pulled it out right away.
And we're talking 4 or 5 steps.
Yes, ma'am.
So then he gets the shoulder, and when you turn, his face is kind of like right there.
Yes, it was kind of a jumble until I turned around and I saw a clear shot at his face. And
So then the gun's in your right hand.
yes, ma'am.
And then did you pull it up, or shoot it from your hip, or
I pulled it up directly to his face.
right to his face?
Correct.
How far away were you from like me to you right now with my hand? How far away?
That's about the perfect distance.
From you to him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you shot him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where did you shoot him?
It was hard to tell, but I believe square in the face.
Square in the face?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many times did you fire?
1.
And then what happened?
And then the other officers tackled me, and it was over.
There was more than one uniform officer, or are you talking about like the loss prevention officer?
I believe it was loss prevention. All I saw was one officer who was down.
One officer was down?
One officer who I shot was down. He had blood on his face.
And then you got tackled?
Yeah.
Because, do you remember somebody in uniform tackling you, or just somebody tackling you?
just tackled, and then it was kind of a blur at that point.
And how do you feel about what happened?
I feel like my life's over.
And was your 380, was it loaded completely to capacity?
It was fully loaded with one in the chamber.
Is that how you taught?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you normally carry it?
That's not how I normally carry it, but when I went into the store, I didn't want to be, cocking it if something was going to happen,
So you just got it ready just in case?
I got it ready, yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty much like ready to go from the beginning. I mean, you went over there, you had the intention of shoplifting?
I had the intention of shoplifting. I did not have the intention of shooting anybody.
You got the gun ready just in case there was an issue?
I got, correct.
Okay. And how do you feel, like right now as we're talking, how do you feel about shooting that cop?
I feel horrible. I mean, I feel like life is over. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, do you feel horrible for yourself because your life is over?
I feel very bad for the officer who was doing his job and has kids, and I saw his face, and
What did his face look like when you saw it?
there was blood coming out. There's blood coming out of his eyes and his mouth and stuff.
Was he saying anything?
He was gurgling.
And when you first saw him, when he turned around and he turned to you, did he say anything to you at that point?
I don't think he could say anything. He could just barely gurgle.
This is when you saw him on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. When you ran your 4 or 5 steps, and he got, kind of grabbed your shoulder and you turned around, did he have time to say something to you? Did he get anything out? Did you hear him yelling at you while you were kind of taking your steps to run away?
When I first ran, he said, "I'm a cop." And then there was 4 steps where 3 or 4 people were screaming, and I couldn't decipher who said which.
And what, say the 3 or 4 people who were screaming, what were they screaming?
They were screaming, "Stop, this is lost prevention, lost police, or this is police officers," and things like that.
Okay, so he said, "I want you to step over here, blah, 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 blah," and then when you turned to run, he said, "I'm a cop."
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then as you're taking your 4 or 5 steps to run away, you hear just a jumbled screaming of loss prevention, stop, police officer, or whatever.
Yeah, and acceleration, just,
Did you hear people's footsteps behind you or something?
Yeah, it was just a blur, kind of.
And when he grabbed you to turn you around, did he say anything at that particular moment?
No, that was more fast-paced. It was just a wrestle more.
Kind of a pull,
He pulled me and my body jerked.
and then the gun went up?
And
What time, we're talking about like a second at the most, or are we talking about
Less
not
than a
even?
second.
Less than a second?
just a millisecond.
Millisecond.
He pulled back and he shot.
Okay. And the blood that I'm seeing on you,
That's his.
that's his? Did you get wrestled to the ground, or did it just went from when you shot him, or what?
I think it's from when I shot him.
Okay, so when you shot him, there was a amount that came back onto you.
Yes.
Okay. And then the distance that we portrayed earlier was a pretty accurate distance of how far away you were.
It was about 1 foot or so.
Person. The guy that tackled you, did he say anything?
can do this, that, just you're an idiot and, hold still and things.
Were you fighting still?
I wasn't fighting at all.
Were they telling you to hold still for any particular reason, or were they just saying it to say it?
I think they were just making sure I knew.
Where did I know you're saying that this all happened really quickly, and I understand that. I mean, you turn and you shoot and, the blood and the tackle. Where did the gun go?
The gun, I must have dropped it right after I shot him.
Do you consciously remember that, or you just believe that that's what you did?
That's what I believe.
Okay.
I don't have it with me, so I'm not sure where it is.
You shot, and then right away tackle, and something
I shot,
happened.
and then, it was a froze on my face with 4 people on me.
We're going to get somebody to come out and, take some photographs, and obviously collect some of the evidence from your person, okay? You have a lot of blood on you, obviously, you're talking about it, it's from the officer. We just want to make sure that we document everything, okay? Is there anything else? Do you have any injuries on you?
I do not.
Are you injured in any way?
No, absolutely.
What?
No, man.
No, okay. And your shoe is?
I'm missing that shoe, I don't know where it is, but I don't know if it's blood there either.
Okay. And then the sweatshirt?
So I'd say that's the blood on it.
Okay. Please. And your hands had some?
So,
Yes. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go make sure that that particular person's en route. It's a civilian who just comes and takes pictures and is kind of a crime scene person. And then I'll just make sure that we don't have any other questions for you. We might go through things again. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we have everything. Is there anything that you want to say? Or that you want somebody to understand while we're sitting here talking?
I do want to say that I remember parts and pieces of it because I was on drugs, and that's all I want to say.
Okay. Parts and pieces are there, and parts and pieces are kind of a little bit more blurry?
Yeah.
Okay. But the parts that we were talking about that you vividly remember, those parts, the running and the, stealing the stuff and then trying to run away and the gun.
Everything's more just blurry.
Okay. But we're pretty descriptive about, having the hand in the pocket and having it, taking it out while you were taking steps to run away, and how far away you were and all that kind of stuff.
Otherwise it would just be a blank memory.
Okay.
So this is...
So right now it just seems like you said earlier, it seems to you like it was only 11 p.m., right?
Yeah.
And when I told you it was 4:10 at the time, you were like, holy mackerel. You didn't think that much time had passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So everything's kind of going by pretty quickly.
It's confusing.
And I know I got it earlier, but Brandon, is it Brandon?
Correct.
Okay, and Daniel, is it Daniel?
Correct.
11/11 of 1987?
Yes.
And where were you born?
Wichita, Kansas.
Kansas. You have any family here?
Not in Texas.
I'll be right back, okay?
Is there any possibility of loosening the cuffs?
Okay, let me get to the officer, okay? Brandon, he's going to loosen your handcuffs a little bit, okay?
Thank you.
Are they just kind of binding in a certain area, or?
Yeah, they kind of binding around the
Okay. And there's somebody coming to take the photographs and everything, so we'll get that going for you.
Is that better?
You alright? The shoe came off, not helping at all? Are you needing any water or anything?
No, might be the shoes, but it might also be those whatchamacallits.
Those whatchamacallits?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying you did 4 today?
Yeah.
Any reason? Were you kind of stressing over something, or?
Yeah, I've been stressing a lot for the past couple months.
Over anything in particular?
Well, me and my girlfriend just broke up recently.
Was it over the last couple months?
Yeah, it was over the last couple months. We dated for like 5 years, though.
Any reason you moved down here?
No, we moved down here together.
Okay.
From Parker.
From where, I'm sorry?
From Parker, Colorado.
Parker?
Yeah.
Okay. So you moved down here from Parker, and then things were kind of on the outs for a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit, and then she just moved out in December.
Moved out in December?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been kind of just a little more stressed out and anxiety since then, and
Yeah.
been with any friends or anything like that?
No.
So the friends that you do have here in Austin, I mean, do you have a lot of them, or is it kind of...
No, just a little bit. I just moved out.
Just moved here, so maybe a couple people that you know?
Yeah, a couple people.
How do you, I mean, you know the guy that has the bars. Is that just through work or word of mouth or something?
He was my next door neighbor for a while.
Next door neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay. So you met people randomly since you've been here?
Yeah.
Nothing big? Where did your girl end up going?
She moved down the street. She works at Guitar Center. So.
Guitar Center?
Yeah.
You guys still talk?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Or is it really over?
Kind of medium over.
Medium over?
Yeah.
Well, if there's still communication there. Usually it's not completely over, right?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Jenna.
Jenna?
Yeah.
Alright. So you're kind of been feeling a little anxiety, so that was the reason for the 4 instead of the 2 tonight?
Yeah.
Did you, and then you had the weed. How much weed would you say you smoked?
I'm a pretty regular weed smoker from Colorado. It's, kind of legal up there.
It's kind of like California.
Yeah, you can buy from the dispensary and stuff. I've been a pretty regular weed smoker for a few years now.
Do you do the bowl, or do you normally do like a joint, or what do you normally do?
Just a bowl mostly.
The bowl mostly?
Yeah.
How many hits would you say you had?
If it's by myself, I have 4 or 5 hits every night or so.
And that's a normal night.
Yeah, that's normal.
And your buddy came over, and he smoked a bowl with you. So you kind of just shared with him, or is he kind of just did it on his own?
Yeah, I kind of shared with him.
And did you drink anything?
No.
Alcohol, not really your thing?
It's my thing on the weekends and stuff, but not much,
What time would you say that you took the bars? Was it like right when he came over?
Yeah, it was probably like 30 minutes before I left.
30 minutes before you took off? Just driving around?
Yeah.
Okay. Which, I mean, you're saying, do you even know how long you were driving for on the motorcycle?
I rode around town for a little bit and then met up with in the Walmart in 35 minutes.
35 minutes, and you said met up in the Walmart. Did you meet someone in the Walmart, or?
No.
And you got to the Walmart maybe 35 minutes later?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And how long were you in the store?
15, 20 minutes.
I'm just trying to piece together the timeline, and I understand for you the time kind of seems like it's, really short. Like you thought it was still 11 and it had been 6 hours later, so I'm just trying to piece it together.
Shouldn't be.
I'm assuming that, this happened and then you kind of came down to the station real quick, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it possible that you were riding your bike in the middle of the night and maybe not at 8 to 8:30? Or in your mind, is that what it seemed like it was?
That's just what it seemed like it was. So
Okay.
I can't deny it.
I mean, was there a bunch of traffic?
Medium traffic,
Medium
yes.
traffic?
Medium traffic, yes.
Like we were at the light at the Parmer and the 35 light right there?
Yeah, that was pretty good traffic there.
Good traffic? Okay. Did you stop anywhere when you were riding around besides the Walmart? Did you stop anywhere before that?
I got gas, and I don't remember where the Shell went, I think, on Parmer.
You had gas? Okay.
Yeah.
Shell and Palmer. That might give us a good time frame. Like to you, you're thinking 8:30 or so. But maybe the gas shows that you were there at like 12.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Gas at the Shell on Palmer.
Sure.
And did you buy it with like a credit card? Did you use cash or
Credit card.
credit card?
Most likely.
And what kind of credit card do you have? Like a
Visa.
Visa. And that's in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So credit card, Visa purchase. Did you get anything else while you were at the store?
No, ma'am.
Did you stop anywhere else?
No.
I mean, just to take a break, or people ride motorcycles. I guess sometimes they just stop at different places, take breaks, and do stuff. But
Yeah, not at this time.
not this time. Were you wearing a helmet?
Yes, ma'am.
And what color is your bike?
It's lime green.
So that would be easy to spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Lime green. And you were wearing exactly what you were wearing right now.
Yes, ma'am.
And the helmet, do you just leave it with the bike?
Yes.
Do you normally lock it up or anything?
I usually do, but I didn't expect to be in there that long, so hopefully they got it for me.
And then impound the bike, you think that the helmet should still be with it?
Hopefully, unless I get rid of it as a public nuisance.
It is with the bike, I'm sure it'll be all together.
Okay.
What were you going into the Walmart for?
To get some drinks and beer.
Some drinks and beer? Like, what kind of drinks, I guess?
I guess just a few of the Flavios, Coronas.
How many of those did you end up picking up?
I don't know if I picked up any of them, but I was planning on picking up two.
And you said you had, Walmart bags, and then you had your backpack with you.
I had those grocery bags where you put groceries in them, and then that's what I put all my stuff in to make it look like, the stuff that I was carrying around.
You put the stuff from the backpack into the grocery bags?
I put whatever I was going to get, like groceries,
Oh, okay.
into
So you actually did pick up some items and put them in the grocery bags, like pretending you're going to go to the counter and pay for them.
Correct.
And were you wearing your backpack just like over both shoulders at this time, or?
Yeah, I was wearing the backpack at both shoulders, and then the plan was just to go into the back thing and then put them all into the backpack. And
What color backpack did you have?
black.
Black.
St. John's Military School.
Oh, so it was from your school?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of items did you pick up while you were shopping?
I'm pretty sure vegetables, portobello mushrooms.
Okay. Mushrooms. Anything else?
And then jalapeno peppers.
Are you making omelet? So.
That's pretty much what I buy every week.
Oh.
Just for spaghetti sauce and chili and stuff like that.
Vegetable, portobello, mushrooms, onions, peppers. So basically just the vegetables. I mean, is there any other kind of items?
Not that I can remember.
Alright, so you got your stacks of veggies.
Yeah.
And you were going to go to the Coronas?
I was thinking about it, that the bike, gets loaded down pretty heavily. So I figured.
It's a smaller bike, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a small bike,
Okay.
just a little backpack, and any amount of weight kind of weighs you down on either side.
So you're like, that's it. I'm just going to deal with the vegetables for now. Okay. Did you end up transferring these Walmart bags into the backpack?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, where did you do that in the store?
I found it in an aisle where nobody was at and just put it in.
Okay. And then you started leaving the store?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember which exit you were trying to get out of?
The exit, if you're facing Walmart, to the right.
To the right. Okay. And where was the two people you were talking about? Where were they?
There was one officer and one plainclothes loss prevention person towards the entrance, right in front of McDonald's.
right in front of McDonald's.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you pass like the cash registers, and then there's a McDonald's on the side, and then there's the exit doors.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so they were standing over towards the McDonald's area, right in front of it.
Yes, ma'am.
So the one loss prevention guy, can you describe him?
Bulky, light gray shirt, probably light gray pants too. Lighter colored brown hair. That's
Is he
it.
white, black, Hispanic? I'm sorry.
White.
Okay. And the officer, can you describe him?
The officer was more well-built, white, short, closely cropped, black hair.
What was he wearing?
Police uniform,
And just so I am familiar, is it what color?
black.
Black. Okay. I mean, it's just the normal one, colored uniform.
Yes, ma'am.
Did a badge?
Yes, ma'am, a badge.
Okay. Any kind of hat?
No, ma'am.
No hat. Okay. And just normal belt and all the normal stuff that you would see a cop wear?
Got the belt with the gun and handcuffs and things like that.
That's the normal stuff. Anything unusual about the officer?
Not that I could see.
And you said he was a white man?
Yes, ma'am.
How tall would you say he is?
2 inches taller than me.
How tall are you?
Like 5'8",
So about 5'10".
5'10", yeah.
So you're saying he was pretty well built? Not like, Iron Man or anything like that, but, in good shape.
Yeah, skinnier than the other loss prevention.
Skinny.
Skinnier, but bulky.
Maybe because of the vest, or, did he just look like he was in shape?
Yeah.
Okay. Skinnier, but in shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Am I going to jail for the rest of my life?
I don't know if you're going to the jail for the rest of your life. You are going to jail tonight. But I can't sit here and, play judge and jury and tell you what's going to happen, okay?
Off the record.
Sure. Off the record? Even off the record, I can't tell you because I'm not going to be the one making that decision, okay? What do you think should happen to you?
Probably be put to death.
You feel you should be put to death?
I killed the cop. Yes, he did.
From what I understand, yes. But, it seems like you have a pretty good idea that he might have already been killed. You're just looking for confirmation on that?
I just want to know if he killed the person.
Yes. And from the injury that you're describing, from the head wound, do you feel that that's pretty accurate? There probably wouldn't have been any other option? Is there any particular reason you shot him in the head?
Just a lot of drugs.
Because a lot of people will shoot, they'll just shoot somebody in the chest, or they'll just shoot like normal, in the center. Is there any particular reason it was the head instead of the chest?
Well, for that specific reason, the head was in direct focus.
When you pulled up the gun, it was just right in line with your eyes, with the gun in front of you? Is that what you mean by focus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you think ahead of time, if I shoot somebody, I'm going to shoot them in the head?
No, ma'am. I didn't want to shoot anybody.
But as we discussed, earlier, you had the gun cocked, which you normally wouldn't do, and just in case.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you saw the officer in the loss prevention guy, you put your hand in your right pocket?
Once they started chasing me, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And pulled out the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But there wasn't much conversation before you kind of took off, right? The officer said, come with me.
He said stop, and then he said I'm a cop.
Stop, I'm a cop.
Then he grabbed my arm, and I shot him. So yeah, there's no question.
Just trying to make sure there wasn't any question of whether he was a police officer or not.
I knew he was a police officer.
I'm gonna go take a look and see if there are crime scenes here. All right. Is there anything else that you can think of, or anything else that you want to ask or add?
I don't know what's the next step.
The next step we're going to have, like I said, we're going to have the crime scene person come in and process you, take photos of you and process everything. And then, from there, you'd be transported over to the Travis County jail. Okay?
Okay.
But I will be right back with you. Is there anything you need in the meantime? Any water or anything like that?
No, thanks.
Okay. Do you need something?
No.
Okay. I think they're on their way, so. I just had one quick question, because I know we talked about it.
Yeah.
The gun, the 380.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you got it because you had the issues in Colorado?
I got it from a pawn shop in Colorado.
A pawn shop, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember when this was? Like,
2010. 2009
2009?
might be a better estimate.
Do you remember if it was like cold or if it was summer or
It was spring.
spring? Do you remember the name of the pawn shop?
I know where the pawn shop is, but I don't remember the pawn shop name.
Where is the pawn shop?
It's on College Avenue in Fort Collins, Colorado.
College Avenue in Fort Collins?
Yes.
Is there multiple? I'm just picturing the college town, knowing that there's probably lots of pawn shops. Is this one next to any particular road or near something?
It's close to the corner of Laurel and College.
Okay. And you said you got it because of...
Self-defense at that time. It was a few years ago.
Is that just during the whole informant stage and all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. You're kind of protecting yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to.
And you didn't have to use it at all in Colorado?
Oh, man.
Do you normally go and practice with it, or
I've shot it a few times in the mountains.
in the mountains?
Yes.
Okay, I'm guessing. You're just in Colorado?
Yeah, not in Texas.
Not in the mountains of Texas?
No.
Okay. But no gun ranges in Texas?
No.
Did you grow up using guns, or
No, that's my first one.
first one, no hunting when you were younger or anything like that?
No, man.
Did your dad own any guns, or whoever you were living with?
No, man.
And you said, how big are the magazines that you normally carry with a 380, you say?
They have 6 shots in them.
6
6 in their clip. You can hold one in the chamber.
shots in the clip. Okay, one in chamber. Okay. And then you racked that one so there was one in the chamber tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you normally carry it like that at home or keep it like that at home?
No, ma'am.
When you store it at home, what do you normally do? What's your process there?
I keep everything in the clip and then I don't chamber it.
So it's in the gun and you load it,
Correct.
but you don't chamber one.
Correct.
Okay. And the safety's on normally?
Correct.
Or not cocked or whatever.
Yes.
What kind of 380 is it?
Jimenez.
Jimenez?
Yes.
Jimenez. Okay. When tonight did you cock it or load it and put one in the chamber and...
I cocked it before I went into the store.
Okay. So when you were driving around on your motorcycle, it was like it normally was. There wasn't one in the chamber and it wasn't cocked.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you keep it in the backpack
It
or?
was in my pocket.
It was still in your pocket.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you're out in the parking lot, you got off the bike,
Yes.
and then you racked one into the chamber, and then you cocked it.
Yes, ma'am.
You put it back in the pocket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So,
Where did you park in the parking lot, or wherever your bike was?
yeah, usually with the bike, you know, you don't have to park in the parking lot spots. I just park up next to the door.
Close. Pretty close to the door.
Pretty close, yeah.
Okay. Was anybody around? Did anyone see you? Like, I mean, I'm assuming they would have called if they did, but
No,
did you notice a lot of people going by when you were doing this, or
no, I didn't notice. Anyway,
were you looking out for people just to see if somebody was there?
yeah, I kept my eye out, yes.
And did you have any extra clips on you?
No, ma'am.
They had one in a bag with your license and all that stuff. Is that the one from the gun?
It should be. I mean, I'm trying to think. I might have had another weapon there. I don't think so, though.
If you say you did have another clip, let's just say that you had one tonight, where would you normally keep it on you?
Just probably in the same pocket with my gun.
Okay. So if there was an extra one, it would have been in your right pocket as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you talked about, multiple people kind of tackling you. When you got tackled after you shot the officer, do you remember anyone in particular? Or was it just a bunch of people?
Mostly it was just the loss prevention guy that I saw.
Loss prevention guy?
Yeah.
Do you remember who put the handcuffs on you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But loss prevention was there. I mean, were there any other uniformed officers?
There were afterwards, yes.
But when you got tackled, it was the loss prevention guy. Oh. Be right back, okay?
You need some water?
No, sir.
Okay, you mind just having a seat, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We'll be right back with you, okay? You sure you don't want a glass of water or anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, stay put. We'll be right back with you. Sir, you're going to use your sit down when you're okay, please? Thank you. Please stay seated. Thank you, sir. Yeah, do you understand that? Thank you.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you get?
Hello.
Get it over. Everyone's going on over here?
Another detective was on side.
Yes, sir.
You know, you've been talking to Detective Robinson about what happened out there. But I'm going to ask you some specifics too. And I'm going to ask what went down. Prior to going to the Walmart, where were you at earlier in the night?
At home.
At home?
Yes,
And where's that again?
3401 West Parmer Lane.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer.
Where do you work at?
Hewlett Packard.
And where's that located?
Wells Branch.
What kind of work do you do for Hewlett Packard?
Design graphical user interfaces.
So what kind of, just out of curiosity, what kind of background does that require?
Bachelor's in computer science, A+ certification, number plus certification, security plus certification.
It's just a pretty high skill job.
Yeah,
But you graduated from CSU, you said, right?
yes.
Did you graduate with honors, or?
Yeah, honors society, yeah.
Okay. So, last night, you had your bike, your motorcycle?
Yes, sir.
You put some gas in it?
Yes, sir.
And where was that at?
Shell is what I recall.
Where?
I'm not positive.
You said it was on Palmer?
I believe it was.
And you're familiar with Palmer living there, right?
Yes, sir.
You crossed 35? And then it was on Palmer on the other side, or?
It was more west of 35 on Parmer.
Okay. Now, I know that you're still handcuffed.
Yes,
And I can take those handcuffs off as long as you're not going to cause them any problems.
will not.
Okay.
I don't have to anyway, because of the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah. She's in a good key, so you got one shoe on and one shoe off.
I have no idea where the other shoe went.
Okay. So when you went over to the Walmart, what were your intentions on?
My intentions were getting some food.
Okay. What specifically?
Let's see, some TV dinners and some peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw some other things. I couldn't afford them, but I really wanted them. I didn't have any money. And
You didn't have any money on you?
I had enough for what I was going to plan on buying,
Okay.
which was the peanuts, TV dinners.
Okay. And what were the other things that you were wanting?
Sausages and bratwurst.
Anything that was non-food related?
No,
It was all food?
It was all food.
Okay. And what did you do with those items?
And I put them in grocery bags, not the ones that you take out of the store with, but the ones that you put vegetables in.
Mm-hmm.
I wrapped those up and carried them in one hand. And then as I was about to leave, I put them in my backpack and left. And there was an officer and one loss prevention gentleman standing there on the way out.
Okay. When you went in the store, you went in the store alone? You weren't with anyone else?
No, sir.
Okay. How long were you in the store?
Approximately 10 minutes.
Okay. And when you first entered the store, what did you do at that point?
At that point, I proceeded to go to the food aisle.
Were you aware that Walmart has loss prevention?
No. I mean, not more than any other store. I'm aware that.
You're aware that they have people that look out for that kind of thing, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what led you to shoplift on this particular night?
Being short on money, sir.
Mm-hmm. So you went into the store with the intention of shoplifting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you had your backpack on, is that how you were carry the items out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the handgun that you had on your person, describe that to me.
It's a 380 Jimenez handgun, bought from a pawn shop in Fort Collins.
And how long ago was that?
2.5 years ago.
You remember how much you paid for it?
$175, approximately.
Okay. And where do you normally keep that handgun?
In my closet.
Okay.
When I have it locked up, I have a key in my pocket.
Okay. But you had it with you tonight?
I had it with me in case there was an altercation.
Okay. What kind of altercation were you foreseeing?
I was foreseeing cops preventing me from leaving the store.
Okay. So, if you foresee that you're going to have that type of altercation, what were your intentions with the gun?
To scare them.
Okay. Where did you keep the gun in?
My right pocket.
In your right pocket?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was the gun loaded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you know so?
Because I put bullets in the clip, and I put the clip in the gun, and then I pulled back and put one in the chamber.
And when did you do that?
Before I always have the clip in there for self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled the chamber as I was leaving.
As you were leaving when?
As I was leaving my house towards Walmart.
Okay, so you chambered a live round when you left your house and went to the Walmart.
Correct.
And you say your intentions were to pull the gun to scare?
Correct, sir.
Brandon, you told me you had chambered the round when you got off the motorcycle at the Walmart. Are you now saying it was at the house?
It was around that area.
Well, did you remember doing it before you got onto the bike to even begin with?
Memory is slightly fuzzy from the drugs that I took. But there's a 50% chance that it's on either side.
Okay. Have you ever fired that handgun before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How often?
When I first got it, I fired it in the mountains, several clips out in open range.
Okay. So you're familiar with how it functions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now then, you inserted that clip into the gun tonight. How many bullets were in that gun?
6 in the clip, 1 in the chamber.
Okay. And that was from tonight, you remember that?
Correct.
Okay. And where'd you get the ammunition from?
A store in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay. Do you have any more of that ammunition at your residence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much so?
1 box of tracer ammo, 1 box of hollow point.
Okay. And do you normally carry this kind of round?
No, sir.
Okay. When's the last time you actually carried it on your person?
This last time, sir.
Not this last time, not last night?
Correct.
When was the time before that?
I've never carried it, unless I'm going to shoot in the mountains in Fort Collins.
Okay, you said you have it for protection. So you have it for home protection?
Correct.
Okay, but on this particular occasion, you made a decision to take the gun with you.
That's correct.
Why?
Just in case an altercation happened. I know I'm incriminating myself, but that's the truth.
Okay, when you saw the loss prevention officer and the officer, you could differentiate between the two, which one was a law enforcement employee?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you describe to me what they were wearing?
The officer was wearing police uniform, black. The loss prevention was wearing a blue jumpsuit type uniform.
Okay, how do you know that the also police officer, how do you recognize that as being a police officer uniform?
He had his badge on and a utility belt with guns on it.
Okay, did he say anything to you?
As I walked past, he said, "Hold on, come with me."
And where did you first have contact with him at in the store?
That was the first time.
And where was that at?
Right before the exit.
Okay. So when he's telling you that, what did you then do?
I ran
Okay, and then where were you running to?
the exit,
Okay, and where were you planning on going?
out the door and escape from Walmart.
Okay. Now you had your motorcycle parked out there. Where did you park your bike at?
I parked it, I think, along the back side,
Okay.
or along the side.
Is that where you normally park it?
I don't park it in the parking lot just because it's easy to park it out next to the building.
Okay. How many times have you shopped at that Walmart before?
3 times a week.
3 times a week?
Yes,
Over
sir.
the course of how long?
Since I've lived here, an hour, 1 year and 4 months.
Okay. Now, last night, did you consume any alcohol?
Last night, yes, sir.
Okay. And what did you have?
I think 2 shots of rum.
2 shots of rum?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Where was that at?
At my house.
Okay. Let's look out for juices.
When was this?
Sorry.
What time did you have that alcohol?
Around 10 p.m. last night.
I'm only asking because I had asked you earlier if you had any alcohol and you said no.
Not today, ma'am.
Last night. I said, did you have any? You were smoking the weed, and then you had the bars, right?
That was today, yes, ma'am.
So that last night.
I drank alcohol, yes, ma'am.
And how much?
About 2 shots, ma'am.
Of rum?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of rum?
Captain Morgan's.
Captain Morgan's?
Yes.
Any other alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is the time frame coming in a little bit clearer now on when you might have gone on your motorcycle?
No. I'm sorry.
You had said it was around 8 to 8:30.
That's what I believe.
Okay, so if you were on your motorcycle at 8 to 8:30, let's just say, where did you consume the shots at 10 p.m.?
That was the night before, ma'am.
The night before.
Yes.
Okay. So this was not when you got off at work at Hewlett Packard. You went home and then you smoked the weed.
I got off on last night.
Mm-hmm.
I drank alcohol, went to sleep, went to work today.
Okay.
And then I smoked weed and did the Xanax.
Okay. So it was the night before you did the 2 shots.
Correct.
And then you worked all day. Considering, let's just pretend it's the same day. You worked all day, and then all this happened. Because we're now on the following morning, which I think is the confusion. We're getting the time frames a little bit mixed up.
Okay. Yes.
When he was asking you about the alcohol, I think he was assuming that it meant, after you got off of work and before all this happened. Okay. So I just want to clear it up. So no alcohol after work today?
No alcohol, but the bars.
The bars.
I think I had a little bit worse than alcohol.
I can only imagine that they might have an effect on you. Do you take any other prescription medications?
No, ma'am.
No prescription meds at all?
No, ma'am.
Allergy meds, any kind of meds?
Like sleeping aids every so often.
What kind of sleeping aid?
Walsam.
Walsam? The generic Unisom?
Generic, yes.
Did you take any today?
No, it's more like for once a week type thing.
If you have some issues sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay. So normally no prescription meds whatsoever, or you don't have any prescription meds like in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
None?
No.
And have you ever been diagnosed with any kind of mental condition?
No, ma'am.
No personality disorder, no any kind of anything? Have you ever even gone to see a psychologist or anything?
I've gone to see a psychologist in 6th grade.
In 6th grade?
Yeah.
What was that for?
Just because my parents wanted me to go see one.
Okay, but nothing since then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were talking about, this timeline is a little off, so today is still yesterday?
Sure.
So when he was talking to you about the 2 shots of rum, It was from the night before.
Okay.
And then the work, and then everything today.
Okay.
So it's just like today's all one continuous day. So.
Right. Daniel, I've got a crime scene specialist that's going to come in here. We're going to remove the handcuffs, and she's going to take some photos of you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And then I'm going to have her swab your hands. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be just a moment, all right?
Yes, sir.
You see.
Just give me a minute or 2.
Okay, Jane. Can you ever stand up for me? And also Rizzo here. I'm going to have him pat you down again.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll remove the handcuffs, and I'll have crime scene specialist Vasquez then come in and take photographs and swab the hands.
Is it possible to take this bloody sweatshirt off?
She's going to take those. The clothes you have.
Separate your view from my corner, a little wider. There you go.
You want boxers?
Yes, sir.
Are you wearing anything underneath those boxers?
No, sir.
Maybe some clothes for you. Dress 7 here or somewhere. You want to do the ankle something? I had the crumbs and specialist clubs.
Leave this in back here.
Just remain standing, okay? And then we'll go over it.
Yes. Right.
No, just hang tight.
Yes, sir.
They're going to remove all that off you, okay?
Yes, sir.
That way you don't have to have it on.
Just grab it, see if I get the shoe.
Yeah, they took it. Okay.
Just quick, I can't work. Just a second. Place this one next in there for me. Come in. Yeah, great. Daniel, this is Francis upstairs.
Hi, Daniel. I'm going to photograph a couple photos, take photos of you, okay? And then I'm sure the detective will explain what else he's going to do, okay?
I have to step back too.
Yeah, we did that, best. Please really slow.
Just take a step, don't touch the wall, just take a step back towards it.
Okay.
That's good.
Daniel, do you have any injury?
No, sir.
And the blood that is on your person?
That would be from the cops, sir.
Can you turn face the officer? Thank you. Can you face the wall, please?
I can have this
You can
hand.
just kind of relax his hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Can
There you go.
you kind of move this arm like this? Right here.
The tattoo is spider?
Yeah.
What is the other tattoo on your arm?
Was. Yeah.
Okay, can you turn around next to me? Okay. Can you put your knees together like this? Okay, here we go. Can you turn around this way?
Palms. Palms up.
Turn like
Put
this.
your hands
Bring it down a little bit more. Close your eyes if you want to. I'm just going to shoot a couple on your face. Give me a minute.
This is I'd like for you to place a blow back. This is blow back. Blow back. It's got on his face.
Okay, you get a scale.
Bring it so close for you. Dressing too. Take one close.
So context is this death?
You know, I'm not judging you. You can call right over here. Do you drive anything other than your motorcycle?
I have a Honda Fit, which is a 4x4.
What color is it?
Black.
Were you involved in a collision the other day?
Yes.
Where at?
Parmer.
Parmer?
Yes.
Where at? Parmer?
Parmer in the back.
And what happened?
And some lady pulled in front of me and I grew around here.
Where's that car right now?
And I went for dress.
Who's that, sir? Progressive. And the trumpets and taking two? Face this face me. Face me up.
Raise your face a little bit.
There's some blowback on her face. That's what she's going back now. So about how far from the officer were you standing when you shot him? Closer than I am to you? Where'd you shoot him at? How many times did you shoot him?
Once.
How many rounds did you fire?
Once.
Daniel, who injured you?
Turn this way. As you can shoot.
Give me a photograph of the last time. It's kind of hard in here. And face the detective.
The transportation.
Here we go, face the detective. Kind of tilt your feet that way. There you go, thank you. We start swabbing him.
No, that's good. Okay. Can you put your hands on your face like this? You have to swab your hands. Are you right-handed? And how many again? What pockets your hand was in? And when did you pull it out?
Right as the case of me.
When I was at the entrance door?
I was just before the exit.
At what point did you realize you killed the officer?
After I shot him. Well, I didn't know if he was dead or not, but I figured it was a point blank shot.
I'm gonna do the right hand also.
I'm dealing with right now.
Your right hand?
Unless you swab your hand, I'm also going to have to administer a gunshot risk to kill on your hands. You can go and give me a sample of your DNA through buccal swabs inside your cheek for the analysis and comparison of evidence in this case.
That's the reason.
Because we're going to be collecting evidence at the scene, and we're going to compare your DNA and officer DNA to the evidence.
Yes, there was submit.
And I'll read a form to you, and they have her do that while she's here. This is basically the same sterile applicators that she has here. Swab this on your cheek.
What am I gonna do that now? I'm gonna get another one, then it's going.
Yeah, you stay in line. Yes, sir. Right back.
Mr. Chairman, you can stand up. Corner there. Right there. Oh, you come back in?
Yeah, he's doing this one.
Okay. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm Detective Parks.
Detective Parks, I'm Brendan Daniel.
Okay, Mr. Diddy. Earlier I saw you, like, when you were messing with the phone and stuff. What were you doing with that?
I'm just getting bored. It's like,
Okay.
it's kind of like mentally.
Okay, so you weren't trying to tear anything up or hide anything or anything like that. You're just...
No, you can check anywhere in there. And just, it's
Okay.
kind of mentally distracting.
Okay.
So it's the nearest federal prison in Texas.
My mother's going to Bastrop.
Okay.
That's probably where the doctor is.
to follow along with me.
Yes, sir.
With regards to DNA, and I just asked you for consent. Also require consent to give blood, saliva, hair, and or semen for analysis, examination process. I'm asking you specifically for your saliva. This is our Brandon Daniel being a lawful age and having been informed by Detective David Fugue 29445, myself, an officer with the Austin Police Department, Austin, Texas. I have the right to refuse to provide a sample of my blood, saliva, hair, and or semen for examination analysis, and also that I have the right to refuse to give income or any other person consent to make such an examination analysis. If hereby freely and voluntarily consent, I do authorize the following samples be taken from my person. Again, documented with saliva. It says, I'm aware that the purpose of the samples being taken from me is to submit the samples to the qualified laboratory for analysis and possible comparison. I give consent of my own free will and report, and without being subjected to threats, promises, compulsions, or unlawful influence. And those examination results obtained from the blood, saliva, hair, and or semen can and may be used against me and or others in a criminal prosecution proceeding.
May I ask you if I deny what other repercussions?
And that's something that we get to that point and we'll have to deal with. You do not have to give the sample to me. If you're telling me that you don't want to, then I'll work on here that you're refusing to.
Okay, is there any repercussions in regards to my case?
Again, I'm just asking you for your consent now. You either give it to me or not give it to me. It's entirely up to you.
So I won't know if there's repercussions into that, right?
I don't know specifically what you'd be referring to.
Will it hurt my case later on?
Again, that's down the road. That's not something we're dealing with right now.
Okay, I decline.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Did you already administer the GSR?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a 060 way down. Okay. I'm going to get some clothing, and I'm going to have purchase on the you have on your person. And I'll give you a shirt and 2 shorts and pants to change into, okay?
So I probably won't see a judge at all. It'll just go from here until trial time.
No, you'll be arraigned by a judge. So you're being charged with capital murder.
Okay.
Okay? So it's murder of a police officer.
Okay.
So it's capital offense.
Okay. And so I will see a judge within a few days.
When you're booked into the Travis County Jail, you will be arraigned by a judge. You'll have a judge who will explain to you what you will be charged with. You still have to say.
Brandon Daniel.
Brandon?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
I'm gonna swab your face, okay?
May I ask, when is the appropriate time to notify my lawyer? We have 2 lawyers in Austin and Julia County.
That's up to you.
When we really,
I mean, I can't give you legal advice when it comes to that. You've been explained your rights, and you can have an attorney at any point.
Okay, after I'm done with this, I will take you to the speech my attorney.
So if you're indicating that you're not wanting to speak to me any further without an attorney, then I'm going to be not going to continue until and I'm still going to clerk the committee. Rizzo, you can actually step outside the door.
Yes, sir.
You just stand by behind
Sure.
you.
So my attorney will come tomorrow? Or,
When we're finished here, you're going to be transported to the Travis County Jail and looking for capital murder. And at that point, you can contact your attorney.
okay, if not, then we continue to discuss the case.
If you're willing to talk to me without your attorney, that's fine. If you want to talk to your attorney first, and then talk to me after you have an opportunity to consult with him, that's fine too.
Okay, I'm willing to talk, continue to talk without my attorney.
Okay. So I understood, you said you're willing to continue talking to me without your attorney.
Correct.
She's going to bring in some bags in just a second.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and get these shoes and socks. Just put your shoe in there. Both socks removed.
You had those shoes on when you entered the store?
Yes, I did. This one has a little blood splatter in it.
Let's go with your hooded sweatshirt.
So how much is that? Is spatter from when you first shot the officer?
It's all splatter. I've never had any blood on it.
So you just drop it in.
Okay, your t-shirt.
It's saturated on this shoulder. Can you stick your arm out like this?
A lot of blood comes out of there.
Okay, take his mask.
Take a chance. You know, I want you to photograph again. See those monsters. I don't see any injuries on him at all.
Just have him place that in there like his camera will play.
And then I'm gonna have you step back here. So that she can photograph again. I don't see any injury. Do you have any injuries?
No, sir.
Any injuries to your knees, your legs, or anything?
No, sir.
Okay, can you turn on sideways?
It's got some, as well as on the backside of his boxers.
Okay. Give your face a little bit. Can you bend yourself? There you go, right there, stay right there.
Rizzo, can you shut that door for me? Okay.
You take the boxes also?
Yeah.
You can put the gun back there.
Water or anything? And you still want to talk to me without an attorney? Is there other Detective Robinson joins us? And thank you. Now we're talking about your employment
Yes, sir.
a little while ago. How long have you been working?
For use of background.
Right, briefly.
About a year and 4 months.
And what did you do prior to that?
Software engineer at the United States Department of Agriculture for 2 years.
And what kind of work did you do there?
Design next generation graphical user interfaces for scientific models.
So your work schedule right now with HP, what kind of schedule typically work?
So it's full time, but it's flex time. You can work whenever you want to as long as you fulfill your certain tasks.
So you got like a 40-hour work week?
40-hour work week plus 45, 50 hours of work.
Okay, you normally do that Monday to Friday, or you work on weekends as well?
I work on weekends about 4 hours a day on the weekends.
Okay, you do that work around.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, with regards to today, just prior to this all happening, I asked you about any alcohol that you consumed. And am I correct in understanding that happened, the 2 shots that you had, was it for the day prior?
Correct.
Okay. Today, did you have any alcohol to drink?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Did you consume any other narcotics?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What did you have?
Xanax.
Okay. And how much Xanax did you have?
4 bars of Xanax.
4 bars. Okay. And you consume those during what time frame?
2 bars in the morning and 2 bars around 4 p.m.
Okay. And what does the Xanax do for you?
It makes you really relaxed
Mm-hmm.
and makes you lose a lot of memory.
Are you prescribed? Are you prescribed Xanax?
No, sir.
And how often do you take Xanax?
Once every 3 weeks.
Okay. And what's the reasoning behind taking it?
Recreation.
Okay. Take any other drugs?
Yes.
What?
Marijuana.
Okay. Did you smoke any marijuana today?
Yes.
Okay. And when was that?
3:30 or 4.
Okay. And how much did you smoke?
Edible.
Okay. Did you have any after that?
No, sir.
Okay. Other than the Xanax and the marijuana, did you have any other drugs today?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Have you ever consumed any other illicit narcotics?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been doing the Xanax for?
Xanax, not very long. 5 months is when I just started.
Okay. And you said you consumed 2 bars in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon?
Just for today.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's once a week, twice a week.
And on those occasions, how much do you normally take?
2 bars.
2 bars?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever taken more than 2 bars?
Maybe 3 bars or 4 bars.
Okay. So today, you took less than what you've been taking before?
Correct.
Do you have any physical ailments?
No, sir.
Do you have any mental ailments?
No, sir.
Have you seen a doctor at all?
I saw a doctor in 6th grade. That was it.
That was all?
Yes,
That
sir.
was the psychologist you were referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you see that psychiatrist at?
And Littleton, Colorado.
Okay. And it was when you were younger?
Correct.
You had been to a doctor since then?
I haven't been to a doctor since then, no.
Okay. And as far as work is concerned, have you had any problems at work?
No. I received 2 promotions in the past 2 years.
Okay. I can imagine it's probably a pretty high stress job.
It's pretty high stress, yes, sir.
Okay. What else is going on with you right now as far as relationship-wise?
I had a girlfriend for 4.5 years before Collins, and we moved out to Texas together. And then about 4 months ago, we split up. That's kind of what started this shit.
Okay.
The last 4 months.
So when you guys split up about 4 months ago, what happened after that? When you said started this shit, what led up to it?
Just, I felt really bad. I felt really lonely. I wanted her back a lot. That was basically it.
Was it a violent relationship?
No, it was a good relationship. It was just, she wanted something better. I'm still, in love with her.
You still keep in contact with her?
Try to.
Okay. Is that just on your one-sided?
Yeah, it's one-sided.
And how does she feel about that?
She's being nice about it, but she just wants me to go away, I think.
Are you ready to do that?
I'm probably going to prison for the rest of my life, so probably ready by now.
So when you went to the store, you said you were in there for about 10 minutes or so. Walk me through when you first pulled up to the store on your bike. Just, you know, mind kind of digging through step by step of what happened.
I went in, I pulled out a few several see-through bags, and I started to get some stuff to make spaghetti. I literally had like no money, filled it all up, had the backpack. Once I had about this much full of stuff, I went to an aisle where no one was there, and I put in the backpack.
What all did you go to?
I don't know the aisle, just the first one, then nobody was there. I turned around, came back towards the exit. Wasn't paying attention much until I saw one cop and one loss prevention gentleman sitting there. Once I walked past him, the police officer just saw me. And then from then on I ran. I got the gun in my pocket and I shot him.
Okay. Was the officer standing or sitting?
He was standing.
He was standing when you first saw him? Or was the officer officer?
He was standing as well.
Okay, so who was sitting?
Nobody was sitting.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you said somebody was sitting.
Pardon me.
Okay, so when you're walking towards the door and you first see them, where are they at in the store when you first see the police officer and the loss prevention officer?
Well, there's the entrance with the carts, and it was about 30 feet in front, right where you exit the red aisle.
Would you mind kind of drawing out a diagram for me?
Certainly.
You this piece of paper, and you can kind of draw out that entrance area of the store. This is the north entrance.
This is the entrance. Yes, north entrance. So here's the sliding glass doors. Here's where where the carts are.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in here. Here's where Mickey is.
Okay.
And some soda. The soda display case. They were right here.
They were right there,
Yes.
and they were walking in which direction?
They were standing there waiting for me.
They're standing there, and you indicated with 3 circles. Who do they represent?
There's only 2, but I'm just marking people down.
Okay, so it's 2 people. It's a police officer and a Walmart employee.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And what was the Walmart employee wearing?
A blue jumpsuit type outfit.
Is that something that all the Walmart employees wear?
Not the sales associates. I usually see them wearing aprons. So I could tell that this guy was loss prevention.
So when you first laid eyes on him, you knew that that was an Austin police officer and a loss prevention officer?
Correct.
Okay, so what was going through your mind when you first saw him?
Panic.
Okay. Did you know that they were there for you?
I could sense it, yes.
Okay. And when you first saw them, how far away from them were you?
I was about right here.
Okay, feet-wise, how far was that?
7 feet.
Okay. And were they just standing in one position or were they moving?
Standing.
Okay.
One position.
And where were they looking?
Out towards the store, pretending not to look at me.
Okay. And so what did you do at that point?
At that point, I proceeded to walk next to them on the way out.
Okay. Can you draw a line as to how you walk towards the exit door?
If I was right here, I started exiting this way.
Okay.
From here, he grabbed me.
Now who grabbed you?
Police officer.
And how did he grab you?
He grabbed me and said, "Would you come with me real quick?" And I said, "Why?" And then I started running.
Okay. He grabbed you on the right arm?
Left arm.
Your left arm?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he tackled me, pulled his arm.
Did you pull the gun out prior to him tackling you, or?
No, it was kind of at the same time. He grabbed me and then I started running. Pulled it out.
Okay, so you pulled the gun out as you're running.
Yeah.
How far behind you was the officer?
He was right on me, grabbing onto me while he tackled me at the same time.
Okay. And how did he attack you?
He grabbed me and just used his body weight to push me.
So when he first grabbed you on the left arm here, were you able to break free from his grasp, or did he have a hold of you the entire time?
He had a hold of me the entire time.
Okay. And what is he saying to you as you're trying to leave?
He didn't say much. Right after he said stop, I shot him. And then there were either police officers or loss preventions that tackled me and then started saying, just trying to scare me and stuff.
Did the officer still have his hands on you when you shot him?
I don't believe so. It might have been.
Okay. And you guys were facing each other at this point?
For a split second, I saw his face before shooting.
Okay. Now, did you turn around, or did he turn you around as he's trying to tackle you?
He grabbed me, and then I turned around on my own board and shot him.
So your right hand's free?
My right hand's free. He had my left arm and shot him like that.
Okay.
And the detective who wasn't here earlier when you were speaking, and you went over the distance between where you were and where the officer was, and you kind of go like this, and you said that was a pretty accurate distance with us,
Yes.
between your hand coming up, and then the distance between your hand and his face.
Yes, ma'am.
How far was the end of the barrel of the gun from the officer's face?
It's a very short gun. It's a .380. It goes out to about here.
Okay.
It was about this far away from the officer.
Okay. So stand up for me for a second.
Yes.
So So if he's got you, you know which hand he grabbed you on? He grabbed your left arm.
He was facing this way. I think he grabbed it with this arm.
As you're walking past?
Yeah, and then I started running, and then he turned.
Okay, let's mimic that. Show me.
He started running.
Okay.
And then I think he grabbed with both arms at that point.
Do you know where he grabbed you with the other hand?
Yeah, about the same area.
Okay.
And then I started to trip.
Okay.
My gun.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Now, when you grab your gun and you're bringing it up to shoot him, where did you end up shooting him at?
In the face.
Okay. And is there a reason why you shot him in the face as opposed to?
It was the first target I saw.
Okay, but you're trying to shoot him in the face.
It was the first, the rest of it was a different black. His face was a different color, and it seemed like a target to hit at that time.
So when you shoot him, what happened at that point?
At that point, I lay down and he lay next to me, and blood was running down his face.
What was going through your mind?
And the other was just basically picked me up, and that was over.
So what do you think was going to happen when you shot him?
It's hard to think. It's really hard to think on those drugs.
PA told me you asked him, and you had already thought that he might be dead.
I was pretty sure he was dead.
And then Detective, you wasn't here, but you had heard him gurgling.
I heard him gurgling and there was blood coming down out of his face.
You didn't hear him say anything, make any statements, or be able to say anything.
He didn't say anything, no.
Just the gurgling.
Yes, ma'am.
Did the officer at any point pull his gun out his gun belt?
No, sir.
And who ended up handcuffing you?
I different officer. I'm not sure.
You know, was it a police officer or a Walmart employee?
I believe it was a police officer.
Okay.
You had told me that the loss prevention might have tackled you.
I'm not sure. There was at least 4 guys around there at that time, and they were all on top of me.
After you shot the officer, did you continue to try to get away?
No, sir.
Okay. Why not?
Because I knew it was over. There was 4 guys on top of me, and it was over.
What happened to your gun after you shot the officer?
Yeah, I lost it. I have no idea where it is.
Did you try to shoot the loss prevention officers?
No, sir.
Do you know the rounds were fired?
One.
One?
Yes, sir.
And it was one that you fired towards the face of the officer?
Correct.
Okay. Were there any other shoppers or people standing around when this happened?
There were shoppers, but I don't think they were around this area. This is like the entrance to McDonald's, and then here's the main service, and then I'm sure there was shoppers around this area.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to do my best to get in your head and figure out what was going through your mind as all this played out.
Yeah.
Give me any insight as to why you decided to pull the trigger?
It's a lame excuse, but I'm basically blaming it on the drugs. I've done the drugs for the past 4 months. I've almost been broke from spending a lot of money on the drugs. And I make $4,000 a month, and I shouldn't be going broke. But there's a big drug problem with that.
Well, it's an interesting point of onset, Brandon, you know, you were saying that you don't normally carry your gun. So your gun you don't normally carry.
My gun I never carry on me.
Why tonight?
I don't have a good explanation for that. It's, all I can say is the drugs.
I mean, you knew you were going to you had said that. Okay, you knew you might encounter some police officers in that.
Yes, ma'am.
We're just trying to understand, like, we're talking about shoplifting, which is, like, it could be like a ticket. And then you bring a gun into it, which obviously raises things up. I mean, considering you were just going to shoplift, I mean, was there anything else you were planning to do tonight
No.
that may warrant, you know, carrying a gun?
The gun was to scare anybody who might try to catch me.
Like an intimidation factor for police officers if they were going to run catch you?
Did you think at any point when you saw the officers about just self-surrendering, just keep it up?
I had it all in, yeah, but I had it all in my backpack, and I noticed the cops 4 feet away from, they were already planning on grabbing me. So it was futile.
By having it all, you mean the vegetables?
I had it all in my backpack, and I was 4 feet away from the cops before I noticed that they were there, and they were already staring me down, so.
So what would have happened if you shot the officer and the loss prevention went there to stop you? What were you going to do? Or what would you have done?
I think there was 4 other guys there at Walmart that would have taken me down.
Was there any doubt before this happened that you were going to be taken into custody?
I didn't want to shoot anybody. So I didn't want to be, in custody.
Do me a favor, I'm going to have you put your initials on here and take this for me so I can get my notes in there. It's April 6th, 2000. Do you have any other friends that shoplift?
Chocolate. Not anymore.
Why did you go to this particular Walmart? Is it close to home?
Yeah, it's just,
Is it your shopping location?
yeah, I should play with for reasons.
Do you think of anything else that'd be important for me to know?
I guess not right now.
How do you feel about the officer using his gun? How do you feel about him?
Deplorable.
What do you think should happen to you?
With this Texas, I think, we should get the death penalty.
Is there any good explanation for what you did?
Just a specific action. There's no good explanation whatsoever. I just want you to know I'm a good kid. I mean, I'm a college graduate. I'm a software engineer. I've been doing a good job all throughout life. It's just like, I don't know, I just started doing this drugs in the past 4 months. And
You've taken ecstasy before then?
yeah,
Okay. But you just started doing Xanax in the past 4 months?
yeah.
What led up to the breakup between you and your partner?
She couldn't find a job for a year, and I was starting a family.
So were you doing the drugs before then or after?
We had just moved into Austin, and there was nowhere to find drugs or anything, and I was focused a lot on my career.
So you were doing a lot of X in Colorado?
During college, yes.
Were you doing Xanax back then as well, or is it just the X?
I never heard of Xanax until this last 4 months.
So when you rode your bike over there, where did you come from?
From my house in Parmer,
Not how far away from your house.
10 minutes.
And you said you shot that gun up in the mountains before. But how many rounds have you got through?
2 pills. 12 shots.
Did you ever have any malfunctions with it?
Been locked up already. Couple seconds, but you just felt it up.
What locked up him?
Well, the bullet oil got in the chamber and not fully disengaged.
Like stovepipe?
Yes.
But that's after you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Do you know what the pull is on that trigger?
No.
Do you own any other firearms?
Yes.
You shot in other guns?
Yes.
Is there anything in your backpack?
No, man.
I mean, no firearms, no extra rounds, anything like that?
Nothing like that.
You had the extra equipment in your pocket?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything in the backpack?
Certainly.
Did you have any drugs on you tonight?
No.
How much money did you have with you when you was at the store?
Like $1 in my pocket. I literally had $0 in my account.
So you're not planning on purchasing anything? When you were in there?
No, I was planning on shoplifting it.
All right, let's step out for just a second. Calls to make.
And Brandon, what the main thing here is that you want to, try to explain to people what happened, okay? And you understand that a police officer being killed is going to bring a lot of emotion to the table, and especially all together in the city and with the police department, right? What we need to do is try to establish why this officer got killed. We're trying to make some sense of it, try to have somebody understand why, okay? And right now, what we're left is there's an officer who's dead for vegetables because you decided to shoplift vegetables, okay? Do you see?
I understand.
You see how that would be kind of upsetting to most people? I mean, he lost his life because of portobello mushrooms and onions and some jalapeno peppers. Is that what it comes down to?
Yes, ma'am.
You know you had 2 kids? Two kids that don't have their father anymore because of portobello mushrooms and onions and jalapenos. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how it sounds? Somebody's son, a father, a good friend, part of a good community of police officers who's now dead because of vegetables. And we need to try to make something out of this, Brandon. We need to have something come from this. And I don't know what it is, because right now it seems pretty senseless and it seems pretty pointless. You're going from a Class C ticket that you would have gotten for shoplifting to capital murder. Do you see?
I understand.
See what I'm trying to wrap my brain around? Never mind yours. Never mind trying to explain this to everyone else. Trying to wrap our brains around vegetables versus a man's life. How does that make you feel?
Yes. I'm numb. I can't do anything.
we may try to understand it, and we probably never will, but you're the one who's going to have to live with it, okay? And I don't know how you do that. Are you okay sitting in here without handcuffs on? You're not going to cause any kind of issues?
Do you know how long it's going to be?
Well, what we're waiting on is a search warrant, so we can obtain a saliva sample from you. And then we're going to transport you down to the main jail.
So I can either agree or wait for a search.
You already didn't agree, so you're going to get the search warrant anyway. So it's not really a big deal. I mean, it was your consent. I mean, it was your, you either wanted to give it or you didn't, and you declined. So, I mean, hopefully we're not talking about a large amount of time. Do you want to get down to the jail and just get this over with? Is that what you're going to say?
Kind of. I'd rather that's in the room,
I'd like to wish I could see how long that'll be.
Wait middle usually.
Okay, is it one or the other parent that is Asian, or?
Both are actually half Asian.
Half Asian? Okay, we can go with white now.
Usually, yes.
Daniel. Daniel. I have a couple more questions for you. When you first went over to the Walmart, did you leave at any point and go back in? No? So you went in and you were there for the entire time until the shooting took place. Did you put any items or any merchandise on an end cap by produce? No? Okay. All right, well, they're going to come transport you downtown here in just a minute, okay?
Noon in downtown Austin, where the man sentenced to death for killing an Austin police officer more than 3 years ago went before a judge this morning. Brandon Daniel is asking for the judge to speed up his execution. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi was at today's hearing and joins us with more.
16 months after he was sent to death row, Brandon Daniel was back in Travis County on Friday to say he wants to waive his appeals, speeding along his trip to the lethal injection chamber. Shackled at the hands and wearing prisoner's garb, he told the judge he understood the decision he is making by wanting to dismiss his appeals attorneys. Those attorneys will try to intervene and stay on the case, but Daniel, in a letter to the judge, listed 3 reasons to dismiss them: to save taxpayer money, to spare the families involved more angst, and to spend the least amount of time in prison as possible. The attorneys involved in the original trial said it's a move that doesn't really surprise them.
Being an extremely intelligent person, he's made the decision that rather than spend the rest of his life living with the consequences of what he's done, he'd rather suffer the consequences of what he's done.
I think he understands and really does feel for the family of Officer Padron. I mean, it's a tragedy that, those girls don't have their dad. And
Judge Brenda Kennedy said she wants Daniel to undergo a psychiatric evaluation while he's in Travis County to determine if he is competent to make this decision. She could rule if Daniel will get his wishes granted in the coming weeks. Also, Gary Cobb said he talked to Jaime Padron's family, and they also want to see this process expedited. We're at the Travis County Justice Complex. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
And Austin police sent us a statement regarding Daniel's plan, saying they have no doubt he killed Officer Padron and the department would not have been opposed to his petition. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice says inmates that receive capital punishment stay on death row an average of nearly 11 years before being put to death. However, there are exceptions. So to give you some perspective here, Joe Gonzalez and Stephen Renfro were both put to death about 9 months after being sentenced to death back in the 1990s. Both waived all rights to appeal, which sped up their executions. At the other end of the spectrum, a Travis County inmate, David Powell, spent more than 31 years on death row until his execution in 2010. He was sentenced to death for killing an Austin police officer in 1978. His appeals lasted until the year before his death.